A day sober is a day one. AD, look a bit pale there. I know it's the lighting.
That's the light. Do you want me to switch the light off maybe?
Okay, maybe we can turn it a bit so that I can be more on the camera than you.
Yeah, you are the man, sir. You are the man.
Okay,
You are
but
the man.
maybe you should be on the camera as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. A day sober is a day one. We deal with something that we chase, that it affects our decision making, it affects our choices, and ultimately it wrecks our lives and the lives of people around us. And so what we're here to do is carry a message that AD used tick every day. He robbed people every day, or most days.
That's true, sir.
When he wasn't robbing people, he was stealing. And hello there. It's a little bit difficult this evening to see how's it, Dean Felix also changed his life completely. It's a little bit difficult to see the comments and stuff this evening because the phone is slanted and we're not IT specialists. But good evening, Michelle. How's it, Garthy? Lekker, my bro. Garth is almost 1 year sober from a 30-year drug addiction and substance abuse and chaos and destruction. When I say addiction, it means chaos, destruction, heartache, and shit.
Yes, sir.
And so AD comes from a background of destruction, despair, isolation, and maybe even fun in the beginning. Huh?
It was fun in the beginning. It was liquor in the beginning, sir.
So, we've spoken much about the 12 steps as a way of life and how we adapt to the principles personally and things like that. But we can't compromise on that principles. So, like I said, we're not qualified IT people. How's it, Lloyd? Lekker to check that you're carrying the message there in Canada. What we like about social media is that it reaches people all over. And sometimes you'd get an addict that's lucky enough to still have his phone, to still have all his possessions, or maybe he's checking on his mom's phone or tablet, her spare one that she's got, and manages to come across a meeting or a statement or a share that is being shared about hope, because that's what we're selling here, man.
Yeah.
We're not selling recovery here. Take my name, take my face, take my everything out of it. Good evening, Ora. I'm hoping to see you soon. We should be seeing you soon, sir. Gladwin is also there.
Yes, sir.
And so a day sober is a day one, man. Once you are addict and for any time are relieved from wanting to use or wanting to behave in certain ways or wanting to take the gap or wanting to manipulate, these are all side effects of addiction, man. Addicts aren't bad people. We've booked people in over the last few days and things like that. How's it, Ian? Nice to have you. Love the videos with the messages. Much respect. Respect, man. Lekker, Ian. Lekker to have you. Got check Clutchy's watching. Leslie, good evening.
Good evening, Leslie.
And so we all come from different backgrounds. Some use alcohol, some use pharmaceuticals. I was addicted to methadone. That's a nice name for morphine. We are legally or illegally got scripts by doctors who some claimed that they thought they were helping me, but I was just another product in their system or their business of survival. So we got another young man in here today, another different skill that he can share with us. Yes. I can teach him about recovery because on a daily basis we do recovery here, and we eat, sleep. The other night AD was sharing, and I had a lekker busy day. I say a lekker busy day because if my days aren't busy, and when I say busy, it's not a complaining I was busy. It's a grateful that I was busy to have something to be busy doing besides drugs. And so it was a busy day, and I was a bit physically tired and things like that. So I had a bit of a crash on the couch, a bit of a recharge, and in my waking up, I said to AD, hey, are you going to give them a recovery meeting? Because that is what is on my mind. The way drugs used to be on my mind, that's how recovery is on my mind. You guys have seen some of our posts and that on Facebook. Mr. Hall is traveling and carrying the message about addiction, primarily about addiction.
Amen.
And about disconnection amongst people and things like that, and how we should be standing together. Check all the orange ribbons, AD.
I see
it's
it,
amazing.
It's amazing, yeah.
It's lekker.
It's lekker to see
And
that.
we take the name out of it. I hear so many of the same stories on a daily basis over the phone, and just the names and the people change, but the stories stay the same.
Sure.
The hurtful, painful families that are affected by what's going on, and we say it all the time. It doesn't matter if it's on a little side small dorpie somewhere. It doesn't matter where you are in the country. There's a dealer at every school. There's a dealer at every corporate, and there's even a dealer at some rehabs. And I can tell you that because I've been to them. But what we focus on here is recovery, man. We don't recover from alcohol and drugs. We recover from a lifestyle of chaos. We recover from behaviors of manipulation and hurt and pain and all of that. And I've said it before, that I've seen mothers book their kids in here, and 3 months later when they come visit, or a month later when they come visit, they look young. The mothers look younger than what they did when they booked their child in.
Correct, sir.
This is something that will drain you as an addict. It will drain everything around you.
Yes.
And just like, I don't like to involve mental illness and illnesses and things like that. But like the nature of schizophrenia, if you don't take your medication, you're going to hear voices. The nature of addiction is, if your disease is active, you're going to lie, you're going to steal, you're going to hurt the people closest to you. And like God says, recovery is not the enemy. So what we do on a daily basis is we reprogramming ourselves to live just for today. Just like all I lived for was the drug and ways and means to find and get more. What I live for today is carrying the message. Because I also came in here with 2 different shoes on. I also came in here with nothing.
Yes, sir.
If I could have sold the 2 non-matching shoes separately, I would have, if I could find a person with 1 leg. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Richie.
And that is... Addiction didn't take anything from me, man. The side effects of addiction, I gave it away, man.
Yes, sir.
I gave it away.
That is correct.
Because I was dealing and suffering with the illness of addiction. And a couple of the guys made a turn. They popped in there by my mom today in Boertesig to say how's it, and also just also to drop off and collect a couple of things. And these are some of the guys. They didn't see me come in here, and my mom showed them where she would feed me outside, give me food. How's it, Gladwin? Lekker to check you, my bro. How's it there in the Honeston? We want some more some pearly. Legal pearly, everybody.
Yeah,
legal pearly.
Legal, guys.
And we got Michael giggling there in the background. So yes, he is smiling, Michelle, for the right reasons. And these guys couldn't believe it.
Mm.
You know, on the other hand of it, my mom was telling them how hard my dad was. But if it wasn't for that hardness, the addiction in me would have still been walking through if I was alive. If I was alive,
I mean so.
the addiction in me would have still been walking through those good people that put me through school, that
Fed me.
made sure I got what I needed,
Yes,
that
sir.
done everything for me. There's no family or family member or person watching here or family that doesn't have issues or problems, man.
Yes, sir.
If life was problem free, then it would probably be a little bit boring. Because then how would we grow?
How would we grow, yeah? What
You know, so maybe we all face different things, but this is for people that face problems with addiction and addictive behaviors and all of that. And you know, my mom showed them in the Braai area that there was a sleeper couch in my mom's Braai area. Obviously, there was a safety gate separating the Braai area from the house because I couldn't go anywhere near the house because I would steal whatever I could. And how disgusting it must have been and hurtful for a mother to see their son laying on the bricks next to a sleeper couch. You know? How many parents have trelly doors between their kids' rooms or the lounge and their own room today? I'm still happy to see all these orange ribbons, Yo. That's
Sure.
how we carry the message, people. That's how we
Amen.
sell hope. We sell hope.
Amen, sir.
And that's all I'm here to do tonight is to sell hope.
That's correct, sir.
I'm checking the comments here,
yeah.
but I can't get to all of them because long-term substance abuse, sometimes you can't focus on more than one thing at a time. But
Which is okay, we work it just for
so we've heard a bit of the 12 steps, but my focus today, that same effort, 10% of that effort I used to put in, and I was taught that by Mr. Hall, because I lived, ate, slept, dreamt, thought, and done everything according to my fix, my next fix, how I'm going to get it, what I'm going to do to get it, who I'm going to manipulate, and my plan to get it. That is what I lived. The eating, showering, whatever else I did was just a byproduct. And there's many people going through that. And these guys that were there couldn't believe that I had come from that. They couldn't believe that, and I told them that there was times that I would speak to my mom by the aftak outside there, and I would tell her genuinely that I'm not enjoying the life that I'm living, but I don't know how not to live like this. And good evening, Peter. Peter visited us the other evening.
Peter.
Mom was doing lekker. Mom was making jokes and things earlier, and is resting a little bit now.
Yeah.
And Cheryl's watching from Spain. Oh, that's
cool.
that's amazing. That's
level.
lekker, Cheryl. That's lekker. So you know, I explained to a family today over here, when I got here, I couldn't laugh. When I got here, I couldn't smile, lady.
Broken, so.
When I got here, I didn't not shave because I didn't want to shave. I didn't want to shave because I didn't like what I seen in the mirror.
Yeah.
I couldn't look at it. Because I didn't know how I got there. But I had seen people around me, and I had heard the message being carried by Mr. Hall that there is a way out of this. And every day it got better. And the guy we booked in today, was very paranoid, very scared, very, when people come here, there's people that come here. We got a lovely couple that donated some things to us today, and they asked if the guys that are here are the guys that work like sort of on the farm, or are they the sort of people employed here, and where are the addicts? Because the word addict has got such an ugly stigma attached to it.
Yes, sir.
It's like looking at a bull terrier. I'll just ask the audience, what do you see when you look at a bull terrier?
Bull terrier, yeah.
You see a dog that's gonna that is aggressive, that is fighting, and
it's gonna bite you.
It's gonna bite you, and you automatically get scared of it.
Yeah. Fear immediately. You don't want to
say
anything.
And that's the same stigma that's attached to addiction.
That is correct, sir.
But we can come out of this. And when people see what the guys were busy doing here today, how they were laughing, that there was normal music playing, that we were doing things that equipped them for living life on life's terms outside there in the world. And they asked, like, where's the addicts? Because the picture we have in our mind of addicts is the picture of the people we see at the robots.
Yeah.
I just want to go through this comments here. And I explained to these parents that booked this boy in today, not boy, young man, and said it's so amazing, it's so weird that I was taught and told here on one side of things exactly what my parents were teaching and telling me. Because my dad taught me a lot of things. A lot of things. My work ethic comes from my dad. Me knowing how to handle a lot of situations and things. But I changed over the years as the addiction took over. Pardon. And why don't we listen to our parents? But somebody else will tell us the same thing, and we'll listen.
Listen to that person, yeah.
There were so many people today with that case and that murder in Senegal, and Mr. Hall spoke there, and I think there was close to 10,000 people there, just over 9,000, possibly more, and amazing how powerful we are when we stand together.
Yes, sir.
And like I was saying, I needed to admit that my life was unmanageable, and the most difficult part was I needed to be broken down so much before I would admit that I needed help, because we all think that we can do this alone.
Correct, sir.
You cannot recover by yourself. So there's many parents, just like parents behind trelly doors this evening, just like I was on the other side of the safety gate of the Briar area.
Yeah.
There's many parents being promised after a binge or positive drug test that, Mom, I'm done, I'm finished, I'm not going to do this. But I can tell you that no drug testing, no somebody else handling my finances, no lift directly to work and back, no, you can move me to Iceland, man. And without recovery, I'm not going to be able to stop.
Correct, sir.
Both of us thought that we had arrived.
Today we are witness. I'm looking for and stand up again.
Hey, Marius. We were watching the RAEL videos of the history of RAEL, and the willingness and the things that we put in, and that's exactly what it is. I got to a point in 2016 that I thought I had arrived, and it's very similar to what happens in life. At 22, I thought, okay, I'm qualified, I'm earning good money, I'm this, I'm that. But we forget how we got there.
The effort we put in.
And we become complacent. So, I always wanted and demanded things go my way. Always terms and conditions on my recovery.
Yeah.
Until we surrender completely. That is when recovery can take place. And you know, as my sort of addiction progressed, isolation got deeper. And AD's sitting here tonight because I think he can identify with the loneliness and the isolation and not knowing what to do anymore.
That's correct, sir.
And so we got a lekker group of Owens, not Owens, but gentlemen. But Owens is just South African slang for gentleman.
That's correct, sir. Hardcore.
Lloyd, lekker means nice, or it means very nice, kind of thing, huh? Or
Yeah,
awesome.
Awesome.
That's what lekker means to all the foreigners. And you know, I said to these parents that generally the guys that stay in contact, because we can't do this by ourselves, are the guys that stay sober. So we need each other in this. And like I said before in previous meetings, I'd moved around, I changed jobs. I said, if only I get a car again, things will go better. But I was the problem that needed to change.
Yeah.
And I couldn't change the world around me. And when I came here, I seen that changing myself was possible. Remember I said in the beginning that I eventually said to my mom that I don't want to be like this anymore, but I don't know how not to.
Yeah.
I must tell you guys that Bradley's doing very well. He's over his physical sort of detox now and withdrawal of the heroin, and he's fully doing into the program and doing his part and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think the main message maybe for tonight is that over here we are family, and everybody that is here has walked through the door one day, has walked through the door 2 days, has been here a month, 2 months, and all the different stages that we go through, we know how that person feels. Awesome, Cheryl. Yeah, I'm using a different device this evening because, like I said to you, I'm not qualified in IT. I'm qualified in drug addiction, and I'm still learning about recovery every day. And they say humility is teachability.
Correct, sir.
And I think that we've all experienced different things, and the nice thing that I done the other night was I allowed the guys to watch. I don't know if anybody remembers Wendy Lockett's share.
Sure.
Because sometimes we don't see what we're doing to the people around us.
True, sir.
When we are drugging, we don't know that mom is at home tossing and turning. And when mom hears that key come in the door, that sometimes she pretends to be sleeping. But she's been sitting there waiting the whole time.
The whole time. The whole time. She sits and she waits up, she's laying there.
And so we got so many different skills. Addiction is the greatest equalizer amongst people. We've got all different kinds of walks of life here. We got somebody, addicts don't belong in prison. There's not enough treatment for them in prison.
Yes, sir.
They come out, they do the same things, they eventually get lost in the system, and without treatment they will go back there continuously. On Saturday afternoon, I stopped at the robots at Boston and I saw a guy standing there, gave him my Oreo crush. He was so grateful. My heart really went out to this gentleman. I tell you, each time I stop at the robots, besides thinking there, but for the grace of God go I have to swallow a couple of times when I drive away. And sometimes there's a tear or two. If I don't keep it in, I struggle actually to keep it in, because I know how this man feels.
Yeah.
And yes, Michelle, all the guys were in tears here. And they ask, what is wrong with us? Help us to find out what is wrong with us, that we do this to ourselves and to our loved ones. And I can only carry the message that has been carried to me. Like Richie had a good share the other evening. And this is how it's been passed on to us.
Yeah.
The answers that Mr. Hall was looking for 13 years ago when he founded RAEL, he was on a mission to find them. And he didn't stop. And that's why he has the answers to give to us. Yes, that's where we get our answers from, so that we can pass on to the newcomers and the people that come through our doors.
Yes, sir.
And the message, you know, Mr. Hall is a well-dressed man that carries himself confident and things like that, and has respect and discipline and etiquette, and is very, very humble.
Yes, sir.
But like he explains to us, he didn't always have nice clothes. He didn't always feel as confident about himself as what he did.
Yes, sir.
He's sharing the program with us that done that for him, that gave him the inner freedom that we so badly looking for.
We thought
the absence of pain.
Yeah. That's correct, sir.
And by carrying the message to other addicts and alcoholics and to families, when I see mothers come in here, it's reminding me of the pain that what will happen. That could be my mother sitting here when I'm sitting here dealing with parents. It's reminding me not to go back there, because that is what will happen.
Yes, sir.
And that gives me the opportunity to remember the times, like laying passed out next to the sleeper couch on the bricks, and my mother had to step over me to get to the fridge or whatever, but would rather have me there than on the streets where anybody could have been doing anything to me at the time. With me having a 15-year-old son, I can't imagine for a parent what that must feel like, but I can see it in their eyes when they get here. And I found purpose again.
Amen, sir.
I was walking around hopeless. I'm still thinking of Auntie Wendy Lockett's share. Sorry, that's why I am thrown off here a little bit. Yeah, Richie, we need to stay grounded.
It's true, Richie.
Yeah, just on the other note, you're talking about back down to earth. That reminded me of the electricity the other day that wasn't switched off. I'm not an electrician, okay? But the electricity almost earthed through me. But it's okay. Luckily, we had an electrician here on site that was booked in. And he showed me the ropes. And I think what's important is that we do recover.
Yes, sir.
If we are vigilant, diligent and disciplined. Most of the older people that come through the doors that have been through the army and things like that, we don't need to get the discipline in order for the first 2 months. Because remember what's been happening is that the house has been run by the addicted person, because we're tiptoeing around them. We don't know what's going to happen next.
Okay, lekker, Richie.
Yeah, we do recover from a shock. Yeah, no, look, I can show you. My thumb is a bit skew still from a shock. I had holes in my fingers from a shock.
Electrified.
But that wasn't stealing cables. That was when my mother and father told me, don't touch or disconnect that lamp. And the rebellion in me told me, no, I can do that. I don't need to listen. So like most of us, I had a listening problem.
That's correct, sir.
And yeah, these meetings, believe it or not, friends, have helped a lot of people through the COVID times where there isn't support group meetings and all of that.
Mr. Schüler, just to touch in on that, these meetings even help even when I go home on a weekend, because there's so little recovery when I go home. There's not much meetings or anything happening. So despite it being through the lockdown, these meetings that are online is reaching out to people, and it is giving us hope out there.
Definitely. Your mom and your sister and yourself had a power share the other night.
Amen, sir.
The feedback that I got on that, on how families knew that they're not alone in this after that. Because sometimes we think that as parents, I've heard them say, where have I gone wrong? What have I done wrong? So it's lekker to laugh on these meetings and things like that. We were going to do a crackers and crackhead meeting, but then between me and Adi, we couldn't figure out like who's going to be the cracker and who's going to be the crackhead. And I think we got a bit of both in us. But progress, not perfection. So then we looked at Michael and we thought, okay, no, we'll be the two crackers because he's the crackhead. And he's giving me that funny smile now. But all the guys on the program, to the parents, they had a lekker visiting weekend, and they seen you guys. They were happy about that.
Amen, sir.
And you know, there's different angles that we do recovery from. In the big book that I read the other night, it says that some of us tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil. We had to let go absolutely. And now sometimes we let go absolutely, and I'm not Bible bashing you, but like we say, take your problems to the cross. But human nature, what does human nature do? Worrying is a lack of faith. So what do? we pray and we say, this is in God's hands and all of this, and this is at the cross, it's going to be sorted out, and we build our faith and all of that. Human nature kicks in, self-will, and we go back to the cross and we pick it up again and we want to control the situation. We need to surrender. We need to accept the things we cannot change.
Yes, sir.
Okay? But we need to, besides living in the problem, we need to live in the solution. And just from another angle, we tried to hold on to our old ideas and the result was no. So we're coming through the gates. We surrendered to the program that is run and taught and that has worked for Mr. Hall for 15 years, man.
Yeah.
Not 15 days. Not 15 days. 15 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go find 15 years of sobriety in South Africa. I humbly say that the recovery center, the recovery that takes place here has been rated by social development and obviously other ratings and things that come into play as the best recovery center in Africa.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, obviously the rest of Africa is off. I almost said effed, but South Africa.
That's correct, sir.
And there's many of them. We tried psychologists, we tried doctors, we tried relocating.
Tried medication.
But that addict at the robot might be the addict that recovers. Like Bradley that's busy with his recovery.
Yes.
That could help the next addict. That could help our kids.
Yes.
He's doing very well. He just came in here now.
Came in here and we just spoke about him.
Yeah. Bradley. And if he keeps this willingness, because what had to happen, sometimes we need to go that far down the scale. But the benefit of it is that no matter how far down the scale we've been, we come to realize that our experience can benefit others.
Yes, sir.
We can help them in not going that far down the scale.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, once we surrender to the program, not my way, the program's way, we realize that a day clean is a day won. Today we won here. It's 20 to 10. It's 20 to 10 South African time. And I haven't thought, obsessed, manipulated or wanted to use drugs today.
No drug controlled us today, sir.
I'm just checking some of the... That's it, Clutchy. Thy will be done. Who would have thought that Clutchy, Luandre Lucas, would have said something like that when he came in here?
Clutch plate. Unlimited ruck.
With this program, our attitudes, our thoughts, our reactions, our way of thinking changes automatically. We come to realize that we're not aliens. And through time in the program, we come to realize and accept and understand who we are. That is why one addict can best understand another addict. Like I was saying, we tried the psychologist, we tried the relocating. They didn't understand me. One day they told me I'm bipolar, the next day they told me I'm depressed, the next day they told me I was schizophrenic. All dependent on my mood and how I answered the questions that they were asking me.
Didn't one psychologist tell you that you were doing so well that you're never going to use drugs again, sir?
Oh! I haven't told the people that story.
I think you should tell the people, please, sir.
Fuck, my parents are watching, my bro, but okay.
The truth will set us free.
So I get an ultimatum, my back is against the wall. A rehab or the streets. So obviously I check, okay, no rehab, I need help. Now I'm manipulating. I'm not ready to stop drugs at this time.
Yeah.
Very early 20s. I still want to drug, I still want to party, I still want to carry on. And anyway, so I go to the rehab. I do all the paperwork right. I answer all the questions right. Lip service. I give all the right answers. I say all the right things. I was planning my relapse. I was saving my tuck shop money. I was manipulating the other people into feeling sorry for me, making them think that I had nothing, so they shared their luxuries with me. And the day that the psychologist, the social worker, and the head of the rehab done my exit plan with me, told me, this is about 14 years ago, that I would never use drugs again. So that day, while I was sitting in the meeting, I'd already broken a piece of copper out of their toilet system and gotten a dealer's number from one of the other guys there in the rehab facility. It was up in PE. And was just waiting to get my tuck shop money back. And I bought crack at the bus stop, waiting for the bus to come back home to Cape Town.
Hardcore.
So how that works, I don't know. But anyways, I used drugs and they promised me that I would never use drugs again. So I was still very sick inside. I gave all the right outward answers. And as long as there's been people, some form of addiction has existed. Now, in the past, there was no hope for an addict. That's why I said I'm selling hope here this evening.
Yes, sir.
When the tick and the heroin and the the cocaine and the different stages of drugs hit us badly. And escalated heavily about 15 years ago. Okay, between 12 and 20. There was about 4 rehabs that thought they knew the answers. I went to all 4 of them. Okay? Addiction progressed and it's become a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger problem. And that's why I'm here to sell you hope tonight. I tried all those ways and nothing worked. And I'm not trying to stroke Mr. Hall's ego because I can't. Because he's got 15 years of sobriety that he is sharing with us.
What's up, Dan?
And between our leadership and the guys that have been here longer than 6 months, when we ask them, why do you not want to go yet? They tell us because I haven't found an inner freedom and an inner peace and satisfaction like I have found here at any other place or any other time in my life before, that no drug has been able to give me. And that is the message and the hope that is carried to us by Mr. Hall, who has 15 years sobriety. That is traveling at this moment, 9:45 at night, carrying the message.
Yes, sir.
And like most addicts, we resist recovery. It's that inner rebellion and sickness. I'm just going through the comments here.
Yeah. He's not Keezer.
So ultimately, I don't have an excuse anymore. Ultimately, I don't have an excuse anymore, and neither do you, AD.
I don't, Mr. Schüler.
We've got the literature. We've got the people with the experience around us that has been through it. We've had the psychologists. But we've got the best now.
Yes, sir.
We've got a person that has been in the hole,
Got in that hole with us. Took us out.
had a message carried to him from people that got into the hole with him and showed him the way out.
Yes, sir.
And the same thing that happened with us is that we were in that hole. And each and every person that comes in through that door, that is still in that hole, we've been given the experience that has been taught to us by Mr. Hall, that was also in that hole, that knows the way out for 15 years.
Humble.
We now have got purpose in climbing in that hole with that person and showing them the way out. And that's why we want families to connect. That's why we want to remove the stigma.
Yes, sir.
Check, I'm not talking shit, AD. Check, there's an orange ribbon, there's one, there's one,
I'm also
there's one,
tripping on
there's
the
one,
orange ribbons the whole
there's one.
time
Sorry,
as
I
you're
just
speaking.
keep on noticing it.
It's beautiful, sir.
And we've got somebody here that myself and AD actually went to go and do an intervention. Okay, this mom was trying and convincing and all of that and that. This is a clear example of how we don't listen to our mothers and fathers, and there's an automatic resistance to recovery in us. And a lovely mom that we get along with nicely. And this guy didn't want to listen, but we knew how he felt. We knew that he was sitting alone.
Yeah.
His mom didn't want him on the streets. He was in a bed and breakfast. I had lots of things going on in my life at the time. Mal was in hospital. It was a very high risk pregnancy with Kiana, who is almost 8 months. And there was lots of things going on in my life. The farm was very busy. And there was all sorts of pressures and things. But my purpose was to go carry the message. And myself and AD went to this man that day. And within a half an hour, we met up at the news cafe in Tableview, because that was sort of his ground that he was comfortable on. And he was telling his mom, no, he's not going to go. He doesn't know what's going to happen and this and that and whatever. But because we could relate to him, within a half an hour, he said he's packing his bags and he's coming with us for 1 month. It's now, that was February. That was February.
Yeah.
That was the 2nd or 3rd of February. And he's been here since. I didn't mean to get personal on Joel.
It's fine.
It's just we use these stories as stories of hope. And that's the lengths that we're willing to go to for our recovery and other people's recovery. Today he's progressing in the right direction. He's going to start studying shortly. The COVID obviously slowed us down a little bit. But that's just one example of a mother's life that changed, that is still busy changing, of another human being's life that changed from complete isolation. And we asked him, what's better? Sitting in a 5-star bed and breakfast by yourself? Or sitting here with us together and connecting with people?
Yeah.
Because that's what we were taught. Sorry, my nose is very itchy. And it wasn't from what's that? Move 1 million. We don't do what they do. I won't say what they do, but anyways. And the guy came with us the next day and he's been here since.
Amen.
And the guys that find their recovery here, they don't want to leave. Now that might sound funny to people. Because we don't chain anybody or handcuff anybody to a bed or anything like that. We climb in the hole with them. We help them get on the ladder and we show them the way out. And we progressively every day work at keeping them out of that hole again. So we go on our path. And sometimes over here, it's okay, it's a controlled environment. We fall back into that hole, but there's somebody here to help us again out that hole.
Yes, sir.
We carry on our path. That hole is there again. We slip a little bit into it and somebody helps us out of it.
Yes, sir.
And the more we practice the program, eventually that hole isn't there anymore. Because we've taken a different route and that is the path that we're walking on now. The path that we're following, the path that we taught here. Look at Richie.
Yeah.
Look at Richie.
Richie baby.
Richie's watching on his 20 meg line with his
Hardcore.
lovely girlfriend that he has. Beautiful relationship that those two have.
Yes, sir.
Example to any addict also wanting companionship and the perfect example of how somebody should support another person in recovery.
Amen.
That's what I'm also grateful for this evening.
Yes, sir.
That I have a partner that understands that this is what I need to do because my life depends on it.
Amen, sir.
Angus is here because he wants to be here. Lincoln is here in it for the long. Lincoln's 47, no, 37, eh? 36, we worked it out, yeah. Lincoln drank so much he forgot his age. But anyways, he knows it now. We've got men here that are 66 that want to be here. Thank you, Jared, for the 2 dots on the U. Good to see you watching. Oof, my nose is so itchy. It's the change of season.
Yes,
It's not cocaine, I promise. Move 1 million. Michael is 19. He wants to be here. The feedback that I got from the parents. Because we call a spade here. Tell us you don't want to be here and we can work on it. But you cannot, excuse me, I'm really sorry. But I'm sure everybody gets an itchy nose now and then. Excuse me.
There's nothing wrong with the itchy nose, sir.
We're real.
We are only human.
I know the seasons are changing. And recovery also has seasons, people. Life has seasons. And this is the seasons for all of us watching. This is our season, man.
Amen, sir.
To blossom. And to carry the message so that the next people can blossom. It was amazing to see Mr. Hall, not on the podium, but on the back of that bucky speak today. It gave me goosebumps. You guys should go and check it out. That is a man of the people.
Amen, sir.
There's so much different things that Mr. Hall could be doing besides that.
But he still carries the message.
But still carrying the message.
Amen.
And that's what all of us can do. And that is how this network has grown. So thank you all for watching this evening. Thank you, Adi, for joining me.
No,
I like having Adi with me in a photo because then I automatically look good. And
that's what I'm here for, sir. That's what I'm here for.
I will always be responsible for my recovery. The answers are all around me. The literature's here. Mr. Hall's experience is here. And parents, it's never your fault.
Never, yeah.
Inbox us, speak to us about the solutions. instead of living and staying in the problem. Connect with each other, the people that are watching, and just maybe you can hear something from each other that can help you find a way out of that hole. Because just like addicts can get addicts out of the hole, parents and people that deal with people with addiction problems that have been through it are the ones that can help the other ones. So thank you all for watching. God bless. Watch our space closely so that I can show you how much growth and people and even our dogs recover here.
Amen.
Had a massive blessing today.
Amen.
And that's what it's about. Now what we do in return again, instead of just taking, we see where we can go and give back. Those are the kinds of things that allows us to accommodate people. Because money is always a touchy subject. But those are the kinds of things that helps us to be able to accommodate people.
Yes, sir.
So God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Please click on share.
Yes, sir. Love everybody. Thank you. Thank you for watching, guys.
God bless.